Welcome back to the channel.
Tonight we're gonna go have dinner over at the summer house at Santa Monica, which is actually related to the new Summer at the Lake house over in Disney Springs.
Yeah, this is at the new Durango Casino right off the strip in Las Vegas.
So let's go and come get lost with us in some Disney food.
If you are going to the summer house, this is definitely the better parking lot to park at because the summer house is right there inside. In this parking lot, we parked in the parking garage, which is all the way across the casino. But in fairness, the casino isn't that big. All right, we found the summer house. It's in the back corner with the cookie bar. Let's check it out.
All right, now that we got a seat, let's take a look around. We are here at the Summer House Santa Monica is the full name of this restaurant, and it is over here in Las Vegas in the Durango Casino. Now, fun fact about this restaurant, they literally just opened Summer House at the Lake in Disney Springs in Orlando just a few weeks ago. And when we were looking at the restaurants that were here over in the Durango, it was just really uncanny that they had almost the same name. So when I looked further into it, I did see that they are actually owned by the same company. And now that we're here looking at the menu is literally the exact same menu as the menu down in Disney Springs. So we are hoping that we're gonna get a little taste of a restaurant in Orlando here in Las Vegas. Now they do have other locations. They have one in North Bethesda, Maryland. This one here in Las Vegas, the one in Orlando, and then they also have one in Chicago. So if you're in any of those areas, you can always check them out there. We just ordered our apps and our drinks, so they'll be coming out shortly, so we'll come and get you guys when they come out.
One thing I find interesting about this restaurant is definitely a California-inspired restaurant. You'll see with all of, like the designs, even the food choices, really sort of California-inspired, but they don't actually have one in California. So I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. I guess we'll find out once we get through the food. But the other vloggers that we watched in the Disney restaurant weren't that impressed. So hopefully it'll be better here. We'll come and get you when we find out. I got the Love Lady Love Juice. I'm not kidding you, it's called Love Juice, y'all. And it's got like two hands, kind of looking like a lady's nether regions. Just, interesting design. It is an IPA, and it is bottled here in Henderson, Nevada. So that's kind of cool. Let's give it a try. Yeah. It's definitely got that sort of dryness that IPAs have, that little bit of a bite that you get from those hops. It's a pretty mild IPA in my opinion, and it's all right, not too bad. Now Nacy got a non-alcoholic beverage. Let's see if she liked it.
Okay, so I got a Strawberry Fields, and it's just strawberry, sage, and lavender. And as Gary mentioned before, it is non-alcoholic, so we're gonna give it a go. Cheers. It smells really good. Yeah, you can taste the sage with the strawberry, and honestly, it goes together really well in your mouth. It's tasty. This is a tasty drink, and honestly, I can see myself adding like maybe a little bit of vodka to it, and that would just kind of take it up another notch, but we're going non-alcoholic tonight, so that's what we're doing. Next up, we have our apps that just came out, so we're gonna dig into those. We're gonna let you guys know what we thought. So this is their signature in-house made guac, and we really love our guac, so let's give it a go.
Always hard.
actually really tasty. Yeah, it's actually really tasty. Honestly, it's smooth. Perfect blend of like salt to the avocado. It's really good. The chips are made in-house and they're tasty as well. We also got 3 different sauces that came with it, so I'm gonna give them a try and I will let you guys know the order of which ones I like the best.
My first try is going to be the deviled eggs. Now, something I find interesting, Nathan said it was a ranch. It kind of seems like a peppery mayo that they put it in, which is kind of weird. I get that it keeps it stuck on the tray, but it makes it kind of difficult to pick up. So it's definitely strongly seasoned. There's a lot of pepper in there that gets it a bite. Good amount of salt. The eggs taste good. The potato is really tasty too. That's a pretty solid deviled egg. Now my favorites are dinosaur barbecue, which is more of a Creole deviled egg, but this one's more of like a traditional with a heavy sort of pepper influence on it. It's really good though. Next thing I'm gonna try is the guacamole.
Okay, so this comes in like a almost like a buttermilk ranch underneath it, so it is a little slippery to pick up and a little messy, but that's okay. Here we go. That's actually really tasty. I'm actually a little sad that I only got 3. But the ranch with the creaminess of the egg salad goes together really well, and you do taste a little bit of that potato in there. Overall, these are really good, and honestly, I could probably eat like a whole tray of these. Let's see what Gary thinks about everything.
Next thing to try is the guacamole. One thing I find interesting with the guacamole is it said it had pico and stuff in the guac, but technically the pico and stuff comes separately. Whereas on the West Coast, normally they throw the pico in with the guacamole and the onions and stuff to give it like a nice little chunkiness to it. And this is definitely more smooth than we get at places like Juan Flaming Fajitas, which is a local favorite for us. Let's give it a try. It's got a definitely healthy portion of cilantro in there. Kind of what I expected. Very heavy on the avocado, a little bit of cilantro there, and then you get a big hit of that onion. It's a very oniony, avocado-based cilantro. For me personally, I like a little bit of tomato and stuff in there mixed together on my guacamole choices. It's not bad. This is supposed to be their signature guacamole, so this is one of their kind of like go-to apps that they'll recommend to you too when you get here. It's not bad. There are definitely some better restaurants that do it in Vegas. But it's not a bad guacamole overall, and okay to try. Not a bad start. Now we just put in our order for our main courses, so when they get out, we'll come and get you.
For the additional accompaniments that came with the guac, personally, at the bottom of my list is the green sauce. I didn't really care for it. It was kind of like a tomatillo with a little bit of avocado in it, and just like together, I just didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite. Second, I would probably actually put the pico. It's good. It's got a nice bite to it. And honestly, like we were mentioning earlier in the video, it's definitely something that they typically mix in with the guac over here on the West Coast. But I have to say, it's growing on me. This dark red sauce is actually kind of my favorite. It's got a little bit of heat to it. You get that like robust roasted tomato flavor with it, and it really pairs well with the guacamole. So that's kind of how I would rank them. Let's see what Gary thought about the sauces.
The accoutrements, or whatever Nancy calls it, that fancy word. The one thing I want to say before I get to that though is, for $16, $17, I feel like it should be tableside guac. They should be making it at your table and not just kind of bringing it out from the back. Just my personal opinion. I would say the least is definitely the green sauce. The green sauce doesn't have much of a flavor at all, really. It's got a little bit of a tomato flavor, but that's kind of it. Then second for me would be the red sauce. It's not bad. It definitely does have a little bit of heat, but it's still a little bland. And then my first would definitely be the pico. But I think that's just because my strategy is I like to mix in the pico with the guacamole to give it a little bit more of a chunkiness and to give it a little more flavor to the guacamole as a whole. So I just like to kind of mix the two together and roll with it, and I think that's why it kind of comes out as the favorite for me. And we do have some main courses coming out, and hopefully it'll be here in a minute, and we'll come and get you. So I got the skirt steak frites. First impressions, the steak is really tiny. It is a $34 steak, and it's a tiny steak. So hopefully it's good though. Yeah, it's got a good lime flavor to it. The seasoning's really pretty solid. The cilantro butter, it gives it a nice little like lime kick too. Not very spicy, but overall pretty decent. Now let's give the fries a try. They do have sweet potato fries, but we both opted for just the regular fries.
Yours have seasoning on them, mine don't.
Yeah, mine definitely have like a truffle sauce on the fries. Let's try it with this weird mustard-looking mayonnaise thing.
Probably the aioli.
Yeah, it's an aioli. Yep. Not bad. Overall, good taste, but I gotta say portion size a little tiny for the price we're paying. Let's see what Nacy thinks about her fried chicken basket.
So I got the fried chicken basket. Now, when I read the menu description, I thought that it was gonna be like an actual like chicken breast that was like fried. However, it is chicken tenders. Not that I'm overly disappointed, it just wasn't quite what I thought it was gonna be. They do look like they are house fried. I mean, like definitely like in-house battered and deep fried. They are still really hot, so we're gonna dip it in this barbecue sauce and see what I can get away with here. And I don't burn my tongue, so go ahead and laugh at me if I do. Cheers. Okay, so that barbecue sauce, spicy. Wow. Definitely has a kick to it. Wasn't expecting that. It's not bad though. It definitely has that roasted chili flavor in it. Now, I may just ask them if they have some honey mustard or something else I can dip in, because spicy food tends to upset my tummy later. But the sauce is really good, so if you're somebody who can handle a lot of spice, I definitely recommend the spice. So next up are my fries. Mine don't have the same seasoning that Gary's does. Mine are just plain shoestring fries, and they are really tiny shoestring fries. But they're solid. I will give you that. And I just lost my fork. So we're gonna try this coleslaw. The coleslaw does not look appetizing, but I am gonna give it a try. Okay. It's tasty. It's thick. It's actually got like a thick sauce to it. Usually like it's a very thin dressing that goes on coleslaw. I like it. It's not bad. Overall, this is not a bad deal. It is a little expensive, and it wasn't quite exactly what I thought it would be, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna eat it and I'm gonna enjoy it. Now, we're gonna finish up our meals and we'll come and get you guys either with dessert or what our final thoughts are. So I am gonna give Gary's steak a try. That's good. Next up, let's try some fries dipped in this aioli. I can see that being really good on that steak. I do like this. 100% agree. Very tasty. Let's see what Gary thinks about my chicken tenders.
All right, I'm gonna try Nacy's fried chicken basket. First, I'm gonna try the coleslaw. Like Nacy said, it does not look very appetizing, but give it a try. It's very kind of strong on the like mayonnaise flavor for it. Not a fan. Not bad. Not a fan though. And then we got the chicken, which I, with Macy, thought that you were actually going to get like a chicken breast, like a fried chicken breast, like you'd get at like Publix or like Knott's Berry Farm. Both of those places we've been to. Check out the videos in the show notes. But these are just big chicken strips. All right, I'm gonna try the spicy barbecue. So my one statement about the barbecue sauce is it's really thick for some reason. Like it's really kind of like a chunky barbecue sauce. I don't know why. And it does have a little bit of a spice kick at the end. So definitely reconsider that if you're considering it. Macy did get some honey mustard though. So there are other options. You just have to ask for them. As for the chicken tenders, they were nice and big. Definitely buttermilk soaked, you could tell. Because they're nice and that fluffiness to them. Overall, not bad. I don't know if it's worth the price though. So we're going to finish up our meal and we'll probably come and get you when we get dessert.
Just a little behind the scenes, real life living here. So I've been having issues with my pump all day today, to the point I was like 300 at one point during the day. And basically I keep getting occlusion alarms. And I just changed this site like 6 hours ago or something like that. It's not the line because I've been able to like get the line to actually put out insulin. It seems to be the actual site itself. Thankfully, we're only like 20 minutes from home, and my blood sugar is fine right now, but it's just really annoying trying to like fix this and troubleshoot this while we're out in public. So, yeah, welcome to my life. So we decided to get the 7-layer chocolate cake. Now, if you want to talk about a chocolate cake, you guys need to go watch our boathouse video where we got a massive layered chocolate cake. And so far, that thing was like the epitome of 2023 for me. Like, that thing was massive. And now we have this. All right, so I'm gonna give it a go. We're gonna give it a try. Cheers. Dry. You know, when you leave cake out and the air hits it and it dries out the outards, that's exactly what this cake is. It doesn't taste bad, but the texture is definitely that of a cake that has sat out for way too long. Let's see what Gary thinks.
So we had two different desserts to choose from. One was a gooey lemon cake, and this is the 7-layer chocolate cake with vanilla chantilly and chocolate croquette. I probably butchered that. Don't hate me. All right, so let's give it a try. All right, so the chocolate cake is definitely like a dark chocolate. Not the greatest flavor. I would definitely echo Nace's sentiments. It reminds me of Disney chocolate cake, and I talk about this in some of our Disney videos too, if you want to see those in the comments. But they're always like really dry and kind of like really dense. Not really my favorite way to have a chocolate cake. I like them more like spongy and moist. So probably not my favorite thing. The one thing that's interesting is this like whipped cream on top. It's kind of like a mix between whipped cream and ice cream. It doesn't melt like ice cream, but it is more creamy like ice cream and less like whipped cream, and kind of like more thick than whipped cream is, more like an ice cream. So it's kind of an interesting, whatever, and I don't know what chantilly is, so that's probably why. But Nace said it's a chantilly cream. The mic's not on her, so you probably didn't pick that up. It's not bad. Would I get it again? No. Would I come here? I don't know. It's a little bit expensive. But stay tuned and we'll give you our final thoughts. So once you exit the restaurant, you make a right here, and there is the cookie stuff that we're going to take a look at. All right, we just finished up our eating experience here. What did you think, Nicey?
It was okay. I would say it's nothing spectacular. It's nothing to really go out of your way, but it's also not bad. Like, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever had either.
My biggest complaint is it's a little bit overpriced. Like, the skirt steak that I got was $39, and the steak was super tiny, and it was a skirt steak. So it's a cheap steak, and it's small. Everything was good tasting, except for the dessert was a little bit dry because it was left out, clearly. But everything was good to okay to good. Nothing was great, though.
Yeah, my chicken tenders were okay. The sauce was a little too spicy for me, honestly. And then the honey mustard was just really thick and kind of mayonnaise-y. It was very strange. So I ended up resorting to just eating ketchup on my chicken tenders, which isn't what anybody really wants to do. But overall, again, they were made in-house. It was fresh. So I can't really complain on that side of things, because a lot of times when we eat at restaurants, it's not necessarily fresh. So I will give them that. Service was definitely a little bit more on the slow side, but our server was really nice. I will give her that. And it started to get really busy towards the end of our meal, and you could see that they were starting to have some issues getting stuff out of the kitchen.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed too with like the barbecue sauce, it was super thick. This guy's about to run into me. It was super thick, so you know, it's just an interesting experience. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Ring that notification bell so you get notified when we do at least 3 videos a week.
And we'll come and get you guys for the next one.
Ain't that the truth, baby Ruth?
Bye, everybody.